Good morning, 2-3. Happy Thursday. Today we are moving on to lesson 20, which is actually our very last lesson in module 6. Tomorrow is your test on Edulastic. We made it through an entire module and a really important module to get us prepared for third grade, all while virtual learning. So we should all pretty much be very excited and proud of ourselves for that because that is huge, okay? Especially with Eureka. So I'm really proud of you guys for working through this and, like I said, completing an entire module all through Google Classroom. So let's start with our instructions today. The very first one is to watch my video that will be posted below. Then you are going to watch the second video, which is from YouTube, which is right down here, which is 11 minutes long. And then you are going to complete the problem set from lesson 20. And if you need help, as always, message me. Also, to remind you, I always put the homework helper. That's just an extra worksheet to guide you if you need more help on your work, okay? So let's look at what we are doing for our last lesson in Module 6. So what it looks like, the very first part, is what they're doing is they're showing you all of these shapes, right? And if I asked you, is this an array right now? I'm going to pray that you would be saying no. And if you did, thank you. This is not an array. They want you to take this and turn it into an array any way that you want, but it has to be an array, which means it has to be nice and neat and even, columns and rows, okay? But because we are also still learning even and odd, you're going to see something when we do this, okay? Because it could have one, for example, that's by itself, because that's showing that it would be odd, okay? So the very first thing I want you to do is to count your circles when you have to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I just want you to write it to the side so you know that you have 10 that you need to put into your array. Now, a lot of you are going to look at the number 10 and already know if it's an even or an odd number, which is great because it's just going to help you out even more when you have to make it, okay? So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make my array. And I could do it either 2 rows or 2 columns. And in this case, I'm going to do 2 columns because they didn't tell me what to do. They're letting me choose what to do. So I'm going to do 2 columns of 5 because that is going to give me 10. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, right down here it says there is an even/odd number of circles. Again, you could draw circles, you could draw, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be picky with the shapes that you make. So now I need to look here, and obviously here everything has a pair, everything is together. So that means that the number 10 is odd. So all I'm going to do now is I need to, even. So now all I'm going to do is circle even, okay? So that's all you're going to do here. Now, in the next box, they want you to redraw exactly what you did here, but now with one less circle or whatever shape you make. So now I'm going to pretty much do exactly what I did. And then at the end, I need to make sure that I'm taking away 1. Okay. So notice now 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I had to take away 1 because it told me to draw with 1 less. Okay. So now I need to know, now looking at this, is this even or odd? Well, this is obviously going to now be odd because I do not have pairs now for everyone. I'm missing 1, okay? So all I'm going to do here is, again, now I'm going to circle odd, okay? So that's what you have to do on this page, okay? So B and C are going to be the same thing, except you have to pay attention to what it tells you here. Here again, the very first thing is count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? So they want you to have 12. So you're going to write over to the side that you have 12 here. And then you are going to come over here and make your array with 12 shapes in it. And then when you do it again here, they want you to redraw it. But this time they're telling you to redraw it now with one more. Okay, so pay attention to if it wants more, or in this case, one less. You have to read the directions carefully. For everything after you make your array, you have to go to the bottom and make sure you're circling even or odd, okay? So that's what you need to do on this page. Now moving on to the next page. This looks kind of similar to what we did yesterday, where we were adding numbers and we had to tell if those numbers were even or odd. And that's pretty much what you're going to be doing now. So the first one they already did for you, 6 plus 4. So you have to tell, they're giving you the problem. You have to fill in the sum, which is the answer. And then underneath, you're writing E if those numbers are even, and you will write O if those numbers are odd. Okay? So 6 we should know is even, 4 is even, 10 is even. Now remember, with two-digit numbers, you need to look at the number in the ones place to tell if that number is an even or odd number. If you are ever confused about if a number is even or odd, then you could just draw it out and say, okay, does everything have a pair, or is something left over? Okay? So let's do B together. So 14 plus 8. When I look at the number 14, I'm looking at the number in the ones place, which is the 4. I know that 4 is an even number. Again, if I didn't know that, I would just quickly just draw a picture and I would say to myself, okay, everything has a pair here, so that means it has to be an even number. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to do in my text box, and I'm just going to put an E for even, okay? Then I have the number 8. Again, I know that 8 is an even number. 2, 4, 6, 8. When I'm counting by twos, everything has a pair, okay? So again, now I'm going to put here even. Now I need to solve 14 plus 8. So right now in your head, try to think, what is 14 plus 8? And again, if you didn't know, then you could just put it vertical method like we've done before. You could do that either here on here, or you could do vertical method on paper in front of you, whatever you need to do to get the right answer, okay? So the right answer, and hopefully you got it, is 22, okay? So 14 plus 8 equals 22. Now 22, I'm looking at the number in the ones place. There's a 2 there. And I know 2 is a pair, so that again is another even number. Okay? So that's all you're going to be doing for these next problems for C, D, E, and F. Now for this problem, what you're going to do is they're telling you they're giving you an idea of what they want you to create. So they're telling you they want you to add an even number to another even number, and then they want you to write what your answer is, if it would be an even or odd. So you could do any numbers that you want. You could do single digit numbers, you could do double digit numbers. That's up to you, okay? So all they want me to do right now, so they're telling me I need to choose any even number. So I'm going to choose 6. And then they're telling me that I now need to put my plus sign. And now I need to add it to another even number. So I'm going to choose 2. And that's going to equal 8. And then next to it, all I have to put is if 8 is an even or odd number. Again, we know that 8 is an even number, so I'm putting even. Okay? Now over here, I need to add an odd number to an even number. So I'm going to think of an odd number. So I'm going to think of 3. And then I'm going to add it 2. Now it's telling me I have to add it to an even number, so I'm going to add it to 4. And that would equal, which we should all know 3 plus 4 is 7. And then I know that 7 is an odd number. And now you have to create your own over here that follows odd plus even. And then letter C, they want to know an odd number plus an odd number. So you have to create 2 different problems. And then, as always, tell me if the answer is odd or even. Now for this is the same thing that you did on the very first page, so I don't really need to go over this. The only thing that I'm going to tell you to be careful with is this one is telling you that they want you to make 2 rows, okay? So they want rows. Remember, rows go across. They don't want 2 columns going up and down. They want rows going across when you do this. So that's all I'm going to make clear on that. So for this, I could just start you off, for example, that the 2 rows, it would start like this, okay? And make sure that you're going to go across. You are not going to go down, okay? Not up and down, 2 rows. Then down here, you're obviously not doing what I crossed out. You're just going to be doing this part again, which is what we did above. So I don't really need to go over this. Pretty simple. You're going to solve the basic addition problems. And then you need to put E if the number is even or O if the number is odd. So again, a lot of these problems are really easy in regards to addition. They're just reviewing. If you do have trouble with any of the problems, do a vertical method on paper to help you. And that's your work today. So if you need any help, you have any questions, especially because this is the last lesson in Module 6, please reach out because your test is on Friday and let me know. I'm here to help you.